Hello and welcome. I hope you've had a fantastic day and are looking forward to trying a new story while visiting the Enchanted Forest. I hope you will get a chance to visit the forest within your own dreams. If not, that's no problem. What's most important is that you are getting a restful night of sleep. Now, take a moment to get comfy within your bed. Find a place where you can relax and feel safe and warm. It is time to wind down after a big day. First, focus on your breathing. Start by slowing down and taking deep breaths. Now, let the neck relax. Feel all the tension wash away and let this wave of calming energy slowly make its way down your body, starting with the torso. Before moving on to your arms and fingers, then your glutes and pelvis, all the way down to your legs and toes. Then, with your body relaxed, keep taking deep, slow breaths. I would like you to know that I appreciate you, so always try to be yourself and don't worry about what others think. Now, let's begin our journey through the Enchanted Forest. Who knows what lies ahead? If you find your mind getting distracted by stray thoughts, you have a backpack that you always wear. So just imagine yourself taking it off and storing away any of those negative thoughts that are distracting you from sleep. One foot in front of the other as you walk along the path, moving at a leisurely pace, enjoying the sights and sounds of spring that surround you on these rolling plains. Flowers of a myriad of colours bloom upon bushes, gently swaying in the breeze, filling the air with a refreshing aroma that keeps your mind at ease. You spy a rabbit slowly stick its twitching nose out onto the path as it carefully surveys the area for any danger. Hearing your approach, it freezes for a second before turning tail and fleeing back into the safety of the undergrowth. As you ascend the final summit of a rolling hill, you spy your destination in the distance. A forest spreads out before you, tree-covered land as far as the eye can see. You see the path continues back down the hill and approaches a small river that runs along the forest's edge. before coming to a bridge that spans across the water. Destination in sight, you walk the path with a fresh spring in your step, excitement building over the thought of a new adventure. Growing closer to the bridge, you start noticing the finer details of its construction. Built from oak and expertly carved, it stretches from one bank to the other. Wide enough for two people to walk along shoulder to shoulder. You're unsure about who could have built this bridge. It has been weeks since you have seen any sign of civilization, except this small path that you have been following. Yet here, deep in the wilderness, this bridge lies. The world is certainly full of mysteries. Perhaps this is one you will be able to solve. Crossing the bridge, you run your hand along its railings, feeling through the carvings dotted over the smooth wood. They appear to be letters, but from a language you have no knowledge of. Perhaps long ago, an ancient civilization built this bridge and inscribed spells to keep it from rotting away. Reaching the other end, you find yourself right on the precipice of these majestic woods. Trees loom over you, reaching high into the sky, standing strong and stalwart. They look ancient. They must have stood like this for hundreds of years, sentinels of the forest, guarding the borders of their leafy domain. Turning away, you gaze back from whence you came, tracing the path you walked in your mind, enjoying seeing the place you had just been from a new perspective. The gurgling of the river draws your attention. Finding yourself at the bank, you gaze down at the crystalline waters rushing along under the bridge. Spying a flash from the corner of your eye, you see a magnificent trout leap from the water, scales glistening as they reflect the afternoon sun, before splashing back down and disappearing back into the depths. You clamber down the bank and wash away the sweat and dirt from the day's travel. Then, pulling out your flask and refilling it, before taking a refreshing sip of its fresh content. Clambering your way back up the bank to clear ground, you sling your backpack off and take your fishing rod and assemble it. From your small tackle box, you take out some bait and finish preparing the rod. Standing on the bank's edge, you take a deep breath before casting out towards the river. Relaxing on the grass, you settle back, patiently waiting to see if anything bites. Watching the clouds slowly go by, you look for patterns in the sky. A dragon flies above, alongside a large dog, both slowly floating, white as snow. Sitting there in peaceful silence for some time, a sharp tug spurs you into action, beginning a fight to drag what you have caught from the water. After a brief battle, your stamina wins out, and you find yourself lying next to a beautiful rainbow trout. Quickly going about the task of preparing it, you send up a prayer of thanks to the fish's spirit for its sacrifice. Packing everything away and storing the fish, you feel a strong sense of satisfaction for successfully catching dinner. Fully prepared to enter the forest now, you sling your backpack over your shoulder and find the trail that leads from the bridge into the forest. A sense of anticipation takes over. You have no idea what you may find in these woods, but this is why you love adventure, for this sense of unknown and the endless possibilities opening up before you. Taking the first step across the precipice into the shade of the trees, you feel a slight change in the air. You can't quite put your finger on it, but there is something different about this forest. Taking a moment, you mentally compose yourself before setting out between the trees. Following the path, you can hear birds high above, singing their songs, each trying to outdo the others. The forest smells of moss and damp wood, a pleasant, earthy aroma. It's a relaxing walk, enjoying the sounds and scent of nature as the sun flickers in between the leaves above, lighting your way forward. You need to find a place where you can camp that will allow you to set up a fire to cook. Knowing that you only have a small amount of daylight left, you hope to run into something soon. The second that thought crosses your mind, if by magic, you walk out into an open clearing, the perfect place to prepare camp. Taking in the clearing, an open patch of ground covered in soft grass, with a slight opening in the foliage above that allows you a clear view of the sky, already turning a pale pink as the sun sets, bringing about the closing of the day. You set down your pack against a rock, readying for your first course of action, collecting firewood. Thankfully, there is no shortage, and you easily gather an armful without needing to stray far. As you collect the wood, you get a closer look at some of the trees. Trunks so massive, you couldn't wrap your arms around them twice over. Mottled dark brown with age, they are a species you have no knowledge of. Moss grows along much of the trunks, and ferns dominate the ground surrounding them. Returning to the clearing, you expertly organize the wood for the fire before finding your flint and steel. Striking them together to get the kindling aflame, it takes no time at all before the fire is blazing away. Just in time as the final light of day fades away. Heating your pan over the fire, you add your trout along with some seasoning to bring out the flavour, and patiently wait for the fish to cook. Entranced, staring into the bright flames. Taking the pan off the heat, you let it cool slightly before slowly savouring the meal. Afterwards, you take out your knife and a wooden block that you have begun carving and slowly begin to whittle away. Eventually, it will be a lion, but it's in its early stages. You spend the rest of the evening contentedly working away with your hands. Before placing it aside and laying out your bedroll. You lie down to sleep, snuggling into your blankets to keep warm. With the fire crackling away, you gaze up at the stars, watching them sparkle through the gap in the foliage overhead. Then, slowly, sleep overtakes you as you drift away into the land of dreams to continue your journey.